Hello, welcome to my YouTube. Today I finally have this peace and quiet space that to film the YouTube videos. Usually, because I live with friends and I currently do exchange, so it's very hard to find a place or a quiet time for myself. But yeah, finally it's time, and I want to do a Q&A. I recently do a Q&A on my Instagram to ask you guys what's your questions and any concern of traveling to Guatemala. Since I've been here in Guatemala for 3 months, so I thought I could answer some of your questions. If you're new here, my name is Kaya. I'm a full-time traveler and artist in my 30s. I'm living on the road since December 2023. I love creating slow travel content. Since I don't have a limit time or deadlines, I like to enjoy fully into the culture or the country as possible as I can, making friends with the people. Yeah, that's what I love to focusing on. I was spending my time mostly last year in Southeast Asia, and this year I went back to US for Christmas, and now I'm traveling through Central and South America. I'm gonna list some questions that I got from you guys. Let's dive in. First one, when you got into the airport, how do you get to the Lake Atlan? To be honest, I was bused down here, so I didn't really fly to the airport. I'm pretty sure you fly to Guatemala City, which is capital of Guatemala. That city is huge and very city-like, very busy. To travel around in Guatemala, you either take chicken bus, shuttles, or private taxi. So chicken bus, I have heard many people took it, and it was just like as a normal bus, might be crowded, you might have multiple stops. It shouldn't be too hard. I would do a little research on how to take the chicken bus, exactly where to take it, and it should be, I think it's only like 2-3 stops. Then you can arrive to Lake Atlan. The local here, they always take chicken bus. Just be careful your belongings, because I also heard that people got their phone stolen. Like there was a foreigner who got her phone stolen, but also she was like a little bit all over the place. Like she left her bag in the bus and she forgot, and she went off and she went back again to get her stuff, and she found out her phone was gone from the bag. So yeah, just be more mindful and it should be pretty safe. I only took the shuttles because I don't want to go through all the hassles of getting off and getting on. I have my backpack and a suitcase, and I'm just currently don't have a need to take chicken bus. Like sometimes I have to get to my teaching class remotely, which is in the afternoon, and I want to make sure that I will arrive at my hostel or at my accommodation on time to have access to the Wi-Fi, and I have work to do. That's basically it. Second, will you be visiting other Central America country nearby? So my plan is to travel down to El Salvador, maybe Nicaragua. I wasn't planning to go to Honduras because I heard it's quite dangerous compared to other Central America countries. But you never know, like don't trust too much on the rumors or people online. But I just went through some pictures of Honduras, and it doesn't seem much to see over there. And I feel like if I'm going to El Salvador and Nicaragua, it's already like a lot of country in Central America. I don't have to hit every single country when I go. So yeah, my plan is hopefully to go to El Salvador and Nicaragua. But who knows? I also have 3-month visa limited. I know 3 months is very long, but it depends on how long I'm staying here in Guatemala. I already extended once, and that visa was sharing through all the Central America. So I can stay in all the Central America countries until August. So yeah, let's see. And I really want to go to Peru. I want to skip Costa Rica because it's very expensive, and also Panama. Yeah, those two countries I heard is very expensive, like maybe like as a US price. So eventually I will have to fly down maybe to Peru or Colombia to skip those countries. Third questions, how is the feeling compared to Mexico and other Latin American country? So I only been to Mexico and here Guatemala. Compared to Mexico, it's not too much changes. Like people looks very similar. They speak Spanish. But here in Guatemala, they speak Tutuhel, which is the indigenous people. They speak Tutuhel. Yeah, in Mexico, I feel like I've been to the popular side, which is Cancun and all the stuff. I just feel like people are not very honest. They always trying to scam the tourists, but some local places, they are very sweet. The biggest shock about Mexico is that they scam a $50 USD visa exit fee from all of the tourists on the bus from, where is it? I think it's Valladolid to Flores, Guatemala. So throughout the border, we already pay entry fee into the country. It's listing out our flight tickets, but they illegally charge us saying that we have to pay $50 to exit Mexico, which that was like the biggest scam, and that left a bad image of Mexico for me, because I do want to go back and visit other cities since I already been to like the east side. After that scam, I just have a mixed feelings about it. I feel like that was such official government organizations, you know, the visa immigration office, like they can even scam you and force you to pay, and you don't know what's gonna happen if you refuse. So I just feel like it's not super safe. I just feel like even the government, even the police is not on your side. Anyways, that was just my personal experience. What is the religion in Guatemala? Mostly people in San Juan, at least small town, is Catholic, but also a lot of Christians. I visit Santiago, which is the town nearby, and that was mostly Christians, so Catholic and Christians. Best town at Lake Atlan. Best restaurants, price for both, hostels. That was a lot of questions. And hot guys. This question is spicy. Okay, let's go spicy. Best town, San Juan, where I'm at right now, but everybody have their own favorite towns. Some people like it more spiritual or more hippies, they'll go to San Marcos. Some people like more parties and more socialized, they go to San Pedro or Panahacho. But me, I don't like the big cities, I don't like too touristy, and I love art. So in San Juan, this is the most arts things around the town. Like for the murals, if you have been following me on my Instagram stories, you see like the murals. I almost see people painting the murals on the street every single day. They just like constantly updating the mural and make it better and making more paintings. Yeah, but in San Marcos, you barely see any murals or art on the street. Best town for me, it's San Juan. Panahacho, it's like the biggest town that is very easy for all the shuttles or buses to arrive in Panahacho. And you take the water boat, which is 25 quetzales per person for foreigners. If you are foreigners, I think you just have to pay 25. Don't bargain, but don't pay more than 25, because sometimes they are not super nice. The people work on the boat, they are not very nice. You can try to bargain. The local, I think they pay 10 or 15 quetzales. But you are foreigners, I think it's reasonable for us to pay 25. But for tuk-tuk, make sure you know the local price. Ask your hostel or ask your homestay that what's the real tuk-tuk price. For the boat price, it's almost impossible to bargain, but for tuk-tuk, I recommended you to know the local price and bargain about it. So for example, from San Juan to San Pedro, it's only 10 minutes tuk-tuk ride, and the local price is 10 to 15 quetzales. I always take by myself, so I'm not sure how much it will be for, more than one person. But for one person, 10 quetzales, that's a local price. But at the beginning, they would try to tell me like, oh, it's 25. And it was only like 10 minutes tuk-tuk ride. It's literally right next to it. And if they tell you 20 something, and they will even tell you like, oh, it's already very cheap, you just walk away. And sometimes when I walk away, they will say, okay, fine, they will do it. Because they need business. There's so many tuk-tuk. I feel like, yeah, you should pay the locals, but at the same time, they should stop raising the price for foreigners and trying to scam them, Hostels in San Juan, of course, 4 Elementals hostels, where our hostel is. It's one of my favorite hostels through our travelings. It has hot waters, only 4 beds per room, comfortable amount, only 2 rooms for shared dorm and 1 private room. Overall, very new and clean. They provide a towel, very nice sheet. It's like a good quality sheet, and beautiful common area with a mountain view. You cannot really see the river from here, but we also have a rooftop that's not renovated, but you still can go up and see the view around the mountains. It's still very beautiful, and the price is around like $10. I think for the price, because in Guatemala, it's not as cheap as other Central America countries. So $10 is a pretty good price here. You can just go down or go to other town to see the lake view. It's a few minutes walk, but it's not too bad. And people here who choose to stay here are mostly very friendly and nice. And in Panahacho and San Pedro, I didn't really like those I stay around like the central place, and I heard the tuk-tuk noises the entire night. I think that's the problem here. Around the city center and here in 4 Elementals, like right now, you don't really hear anything. Sometimes you hear the dogs barking. There's a lot of dogs around at night sometimes, but it's already better, much better than like other towns in Lake Atalan, because you always hear the tuk-tuk. I even stay at a homestay in San Pedro, and still like the whole night was like a tuk-tuk noises, which is like very annoys me, and the music. But here, yeah, one of like my favorite hostel here. Anyhow, guys, yes, but I think in Latin America, like the culture here, people are very passionate. Compared to Southeast Asia, where I was the mostly last year, like, I don't know, Asian people in the stereotype, they are more shy, and they are more, shy about, girl stuff, but at the same time, they're trying to make some dirty jokes on the street. And I really don't like it. It's not like very respectful. But here, I feel like the people here are more respectful. But still, depends on where you go. Some men are very disrespectful to women in Guatemala City. Big city is always messy, but in small town like here, it's surprisingly very traditional, and the guys I met are all very friendly. Like their culture is to hug you. Like as an Asian person, I'm not used to like hugging and kissing, but here they like to like hug you and have a friendly kiss. And I really like that because that was super friendly. It's not they're trying to take advantage of you. They just like have more physical touch, but that's showing they're friendly. But in Southeast Asia, it's more like they're trying to, touch you. Anyways, I was on a tour to see like sea turtle, and our guide was holding my hands and even eventually go through my fingers. I can tell he was trying to do that, like sneakily trying to hold my hands, and I feel very uncomfortable. And it happens more in Southeast Asia, but here in Latin America, surprisingly, they do have some drunk people on the street, but in general, people are super respectful, and I really like it. And they are very traditional. To me, I was born in Taiwan. I'm more traditional as well, even though I'm very open-minded. But personally, I'm not like too messing around or whatever. Yes, I think people here are cute, especially their respectful personality. That's a very good plus. but it's just the heights here in general. People in Guatemala are very short. I think for guys too. Like some women are like one head shorter than me. Yeah, I think that it's just the genetic, and a lot of European people or from US or Canada, they are super tall. So compare that, the height will be like very huge difference. So if you're looking for cute guys, just take that in mind. What is the English proficiency of Guatemalans? Do many of them speak English? No. I can tell you, yes, if you go to Guatemala cities, you'll be surprised. A lot of people speak very good English. Some people I met, their English is almost the same as native speaker. One of my friend's friend, I stay at her place and she act like a native speaker of English because she also work for US companies. And when I go to coffee shop, I was surprised their English is very good as well. But if you go to smaller town, maybe Antigua a little bit, it depends on how touristy the town is. Here in Lake Atalan, no. You can go from like non-English to only a little English. Maybe they only understand yes, no, and that's it. So take that in mind. Please learn a little bit about Spanish. That's me. I learned a little bit about Spanish, but mostly for ordering food because that's very important for me. I want my eggs bien cocido, fritos. That's like fried eggs and well cooked. I really like my eggs well cooked, so I learned that Spanish. I feel like I should learn more because I have a lot of people or friends here, and whenever they are gathering around, I'm always the one being left off because I don't speak Spanish. Can you suggest some good hostels across Guatemala? I really like the hostel I stay in Antigua. I have stayed maybe 3 different places in Antigua, and I really like the last one I stayed. First here in Cuatro Elementos and San Juan. I stayed in Antigua for like 3 different hostels because I work remotely, so I really care about the Wi-Fi. There's like a place that have a really nice rooftop. I really like the place. It's just the Wi-Fi is not very good, and I currently use the plan from the US. I can use Google Map and like very slow internet, but I can't do anything else. So it's good for me when I'm outside, but when I'm back to the hostels, I wish to have a really good Wi-Fi, you know, to go through different stuff. So yeah, I think good Wi-Fi is very important for me as well. So I switch different places, and for the best price, I think is Hostel Antiguano, not near the center, but not too far. And people there are super friendly, super nice. They have a huge locker. It's just like it's in a dorm, but overall, I really like it. And they have a really nice garden view with all the trees, and I feel comfortable just do my work there. There's also other one, like super popular ones, but they're also very expensive in the center, but I didn't stay there. I always like to stay at places you know, more affordable and more like cozy and relaxing. I don't like to stay at those most popular or fancy hostels. Floors, I stay at Hostel Don Snobio. It's very nice. I also stay for 3 different ones, and this is my favorite. Even though this one could be a little bit more expensive than my budget, but this one, they're like second floor, they can have the entire lake view, and I feel like the price was worth it. I can sit there, do work all day. It's like at the very north of the island floors. People there also super nice, really nice bathroom. Those 2 hostels and this one 3 are the one I stay, and I liked it. So if you guys ever go there, let me know. What are the 3 things that you like about the place? About this place? The art, the people, the weather. So let me tell you, The art I already showed you so many times. If you haven't been following, go to my Instagram. Amazing art, very professional, very colorful. I feel like I learned a lot. Everywhere you go, a lot of art galleries, you can see people with the canvas and oil paint. All kind of arts. They do weaving, they do macrame, they do photography. Yeah, I just feel like I have so many art friends. We have a common language that we can talk about. Second, the people in San Juan, specifically when I go out, people will say hi to you almost every time. Even though I look like I'm a foreigner, walk past by, they'll be like, oh, buenas, or adios, even to strangers, and I love that so much. I went to Santiago, people almost like no smiling, and they don't say hi to you at all. Santiago is much bigger than here. It's also very less tourist over there, and I thought like, with less tourists, maybe people are more like, friendly. But no, like people, they don't smile at all. That's my biggest difference impression. So I know that, smiling and saying hi to people, it's not culturally, it's only specific here in San Juan. And then what's the third one? Oh, weather. Here feels like spring almost every single day. For the past 3 months I'm here, in the morning it can be very hot, but it's not like Southeast Asia hot. Like in Southeast Asia, it's unbearable. Like it's, when you're outside just sitting, you're sweating and humid, and you need AC to survive. Like that hot is very unbearable, but here, it's hot. But if you're just sitting in the shadow, it's still okay. For me, it's still okay. Like I love hot weather, so if I think it's unbearable, that means it's very, very bad. But here, right now, past midday, the weather starts cooling down, and at night it could be very cold. Sometimes you have to wear like a big winter jacket. The day and night weather are very different, but overall it feels like spring. Like right now, it feels like spring weather. Find any other places have this spring weathers for this long. Most of the time, you have that weather, but only very short amount of time. Like in the US, we only have the spring for like a week or two, then it's either hot summer or cold winter. But here, it's the first time ever I can enjoy this nice breeze, spring weather. So that's the 3 things I love about here. How many days would you recommend in Guatemala? I would say maybe comfortably 3 weeks to a month. Depends on how many things you want to see. If you just wanted to cover the most interesting places, you should go to Flores for maybe 3 days. I think 3 days is enough for like tourists. But I stay for 5 days. I chill a little bit more, extra days. I just like to take my days slow. I like to have extra days to rest because I'm getting old. I cannot move around every day. I just need to take 1 or 2 to rest and some other days to, sightseeing. Tea call should take you an entire day, and you should just wandering around the lake in Flores, maybe in kayak, go around across the lake for another day. So I think 3 days should be good. In Samuchampe, maybe 2 days. People just go to the most famous riverside, and besides that, around there's nothing much to see. Some exception is if you have a motorbike, you can bike around. If you know some locals, I would love to spend more days there, but unfortunately I don't have any transportations, so I can only visit the most famous, park in Samuchampe. Yeah, that tours only take 1 day, and other days, I think I stayed 2 or 3 days. I was a little bit sick in Antigua. I think 3 days is also enough. Very touristy. Everybody I met said it's more touristy than we thought. It's nice to spend a day or 2, walk around the town, walk around the overview point. If you want to do the famous volcano hike, that's I think 2 days hike. So total maybe 4 or 5 days if you want to do the hike. And then here in Lake Atlan, it just very depends. There's like almost 5, 6, 7 towns around the lake. It depends on how much you wanted to see the lake. Maybe I would recommend it 1 week. 1 week is good amount. Panahacho, 2 days. San Pedro, maybe 2 days. San Juan, maybe another 2 days. If you want to visit less touristy places, maybe, you know, a day tour to San Marcos, to Santiago's. Yeah, so 7 days is a good amount. Only if you're like me, just want to experience and walking slow of the local life. There's so many classes to take here. Weaving class, tortilla class, and there's also a lot of hike. Indian nose hike. You can all do it in San Juan. So yeah, if you would like, ask me, I'll just base here and take the boat to other town every day, maybe, because I love staying here. Yeah, there's also a lot of hikes here to do, a lot of classes here to do, coffee tour, bee tours. So yeah, depends on how much you want to do. There's also a Chichi market that opens on Thursday and Sunday. I haven't been there. I think one way is about an hour or 2. It's also very famous. You can also take a day tour to visit that market. So last questions, monthly living costs in total, rent, transport, food, entertainment, etc. I would say maybe, I don't pay anything for exchange. If I would spend on my accommodations, maybe 10 to 15 USD, that's my budget. I would just stay in the dorm, and for daily eat out, the food here it's about $3 to $5 USD, or maybe 2 or 3 if you eat on street food. Sometimes they have a street food with a lot of metal bucket, and that's like a homemade cook food that I really like. That's only cost like 2 something USD. They have like rice there, fried chicken there. That's my recent favorite food to eat. Or you just go to a restaurant, like I say, 3 to 5 USD per day. Coffee, it's also around 3 USD, 2, 3 USD. The total of food and accommodations would be about 25. I don't eat a lot. I only eat maybe 2 meals per day. In the morning, it's either I also go to like a local breakfast place that's like 2 USD with like a toblenka, like the white corn porridge soup, and tostadas, like a fried tortilla with some chicken on there. That's also 1 USD for the local breakfast restaurants. I think throughout all the towns in Lake Atlan, San Juan, food prices here is a little cheaper than other places. Maybe because it's not that touristy. If you go to San Pedro or Panahacho, it could be at least like 5 and above per meal. So if you eat a lot, just take that in mind. I don't eat a lot, and I love street food. So I would spend, maybe my budget is around 25 USD per day. And if you want to do any other entertainment tours, that's, you know, sometimes it's like 150 or 200, depends on what you do. Cazalas, that would be like $10 or $20 per tour. Yeah, just add that on. I haven't spent any money on any tours. When I do exchange, I just join the tour for free. For me, because I have budget, 25 per day is already a little bit like it's already like in my budget. I don't really have too much budget to do extra stuff. I didn't even do a volcano hike. It's like what you have to sacrifice when you live full-time on the road. I cannot just do any entertainment I want. I have to sacrifice this. If this is my life daily, there's no way that I can just tour around. And especially in Guatemala, prices are more expensive. So I don't feel like I need to do the tour. And if I can have any way to exchange for the tour, then yes, then I will do it. You guys should have more budget than I do. So maybe like 35 per day, 30 to 35 per day. So that's all the questions I have from you guys. Today, this Q&A is just more like chatting and going through a lot of my life experience in daily instead of just answer you like formal questions. And I hope you guys like it. Let me know if you feel like this information is helpful when you're traveling here to Guatemala. Leave comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. Check out my Instagram to check my daily stories live. If you haven't, go follow me there. And I will see you guys next time.